glad when we received the information that you are coming, and we have been anxiously waiting for you, and you're most welcome to Jinja City.
The first mayor in history, though Jinja has existed for over 100 years.
Yes.
Yeah, for over 100 years. But in the ranks of the city, which actually were elevated to state status in 2020, in July 1st, and I was elected in office in 2021, January the 20th. So I am the first mayor of the city.
No, wonderful, wonderful. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you very much. You're welcome to Jinja. I'm so happy that I'm hosting you for the first time that you're coming to Jinja.
And thank you so much, Mr. Mayor, for these kind words and for the introduction. I would like to introduce myself also. My name is Vladlen Semivolos. I'm the Russian ambassador to Uganda, and also I am an ambassador to South Sudan. I arrived in November 2021. I presented my credentials in the middle of November to His Excellency the President. Since then, we are witnessing a steady development of our bilateral relations in different spheres. And I'm very much glad to notice that we have managed to develop relations in various spheres. Our current bilateral trade with Uganda is 427 million US dollars, so it's nearly $500 million. But you know that Uganda is one of our major partners in military technical cooperation, in trade cooperation, economic cooperation, humanitarian cooperation. We are providing scholarships for Ugandan students. Last year it was we allocated 25 slots. Starting from this year, it is 50 slots, and we have already filled them completely. So 50 students will be starting their education on the 1st of September in Russian universities. Also, we are providing 218 scholarships for technical education. This is in Tatarstan, which is in a Muslim area. Tatarstan, Muslim, I would say, community. Russia is hosting a lot of different cultures, different religions. The biggest religion is Christianity. We are Orthodox Christians, and the second biggest religion is this Islam. We have about 24 million Muslims in our country. Sunni, as far as I understand, like here. I met your Mufti. I met the Mufti of Uganda just recently in Kampala. So for vocational training, as I was saying, it's 218 scholarships, and they are fully covered from tickets to Russia, and also board and lodging, and even the pocket money. And now this scholarships we're filling, because as for universities, the slots are already filled. Now we are filling the slots for vocational training institutions. We also Uganda is our very much close and trustworthy partner in Kampala. Starting from His Excellency the President, I have already seen him maybe around 12 times since I arrived here. His Excellency the President will be attending the Russian African Summit in July.
South Africa.
Russian-African Summit.
Oh,
In St. Petersburg.
St. Petersburg.
St. Petersburg in Russia. From the 26th to 29th of July, there will be the second Russian-African Summit. And His Excellency the President will be attending the summit. He has already confirmed his participation. We are working. Actually, our political dialogue is on the rise. We have just hosted Honorable Georgi Odongo in Moscow for an official visit. We are working on the dates of the visits of Right Honorable Anita Among. She will be coming to also for an official visit shortly. Minister of Defense, His Excellency Sempidja will be going to Moscow in August. We want to balance it by buying more goods from Uganda. Especially the as His Excellency the President mentioned that Uganda is interested in selling the value-added goods, and I think that we have to develop this area of our interaction, because your coffee in particular is a very important commodity in our trade, but we would like to buy more coffee from Uganda. Just recently we had your ambassador, who's a good friend of mine, Ambassador Moses Kizige in Moscow. He organized a Ugandan Expo. It was last May, just a couple of weeks ago, and we had there several businessmen from Uganda who brought their products, coffee, tea. So now some of them are establishing. So you'll be selling your goods directly in two major cities of Russia. But coffee is one of the products which is of I would say Russia is a country of coffee and tea drinkers. But tea, coffee, we sell coffee at the coffee parlors and also in the department stores. But we do not have enough tea. We don't have enough tea because Russia, we do not have a production, our own production of tea. We only have several fields in the southern parts of our country. This is Krasnodar area near Sochi. Maybe you've heard the name Sochi because the previous summit, Russian-African Summit, was held in Sochi. This is the southern part of Russia, situated on the Black Sea. So, but it is not much. We would like to buy more tea, and tea could become one of the most important commodities in our bilateral trade. But I will be seeing next week. I will be seeing the Minister of Agriculture of Uganda. So we will discuss specific areas. And specific trade commodities that can be sold in Russia, because I presume that we should not just limit our trade to coffee and tea. I do understand you have fruits. Canned fruits would be also of demand in our country. There is one Russian company. That is trying to establish here a facility to produce canned fruits. But if there is something else, so what we can use there and we can buy, we would be grateful for any advice on that. Apart from political, economical dialogue, we're interested in developing of regional ties, the ties between the regions, because our regions in Russia have the right to trade directly. And we have, Russia is huge. From the western part of Russia, from Kaliningrad to the eastern part of Russia, which is Vladivostok, it will take you about maybe 13 hours flight. 13 hours flight, yes. By train, it would take you 10 days.
Sweet. Because 8 hours from here, you are in Amsterdam.
We are the biggest country in the world. That is why we have a lot of regions. We have governors, we have mayors, and our regions are also interested in establishing bilateral cooperation with the regions of other countries. And last year I brought here a delegation of the region of Ryazan. They brought here their commodities and their goods which they would like to trade. And we organized an exhibition. It was May last year, if I'm not mistaken. And it was we organized it together with the heads of your Chamber of Trade and Industry of Uganda. So we are also interested in establishing sister city relationship. Usually it is being done by having a bilateral agreement. And in these agreements we include clauses on trade and economic cooperation, because it is not just exchange of delegations, some visits, but we are more interested in specific interaction in the field of trade and economy and investment as well. So if you have anything on your account which you would like to advise me, I would be very much glad to deliver it and present it to Moscow, because right now we are preparing for the summit, for the participation of His Excellency President Museveni in the Russian-African summit. But it will not be just the summit. There will be a bilateral meeting, bilateral negotiations between His Excellency the President and my President Vladimir Putin. There will be a bilateral meeting between them. So I'm preparing now this meeting, because I'm instructed to bring to the attention of Moscow specific areas where we can engage in practical cooperation. Because my president, he's a very practical person. He doesn't like to talk about just common things, and he is more interested in specific areas of how can we develop in practical terms the cooperation between nations. So my task is, of course, to present to my capital some suggestions, some proposals on how can we develop our cooperation further. Because of course some issues will be discussed on the level of the leaders. And I presume, but before also, there will be a very big delegation coming to St. Petersburg from Uganda. A number of ministers will be accompanying His Excellency. I met him 2 weeks ago, and we also discussed issues which he would be raising during the meeting with my president. So I have already informed Moscow about it. But maybe on the parts of the engagement between the regions, maybe you can advise me also of something we can deliver to the attention of the leaders of our countries, because if when I send out my suggestions to Moscow, of course they will be included into the topics for bilateral talks. Actually, you are the second mayor whom I'm meeting in Uganda. The first one was the mayor of Entebbe. It is closer. It is closer because this is my first ever, I would say, visit to this part of the country. Anyone speaks Russian? No. With regard to the Russian language, because our contacts are becoming extensive, and we are preparing Ugandans to study Russian. We have discussed, and now we are moving into a sort of a bilateral agreement with regard to the establishment of the Russian language courses, and they will be these courses will be arranged at Makerere University. So this is actually what I wanted to let you know. Thank you so much for your hospitality and an opportunity to be here and to engage into communication discussion with you on how can we promote bilateral relationship between our two countries on the regional level, on the district level, and use in our bilateral relationship, and which we can promote in our bilateral relationship with Uganda.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Once again, you are most welcome.
Sorry, one more issue which I wanted to raise, because we are also interested in tourism. Tourism, because our country, as you know, it is quite cold. We have only 3 months of I would say not hot weather but warm weather. So, something like in Uganda. In the morning it's around 18. At daytime it's about 25, 26. So but only maybe 3 or 2.5 months. Russian citizens, they are interested in going abroad for spending their vacations. Right now, what we are using, the closest destinations are Turkey, Egypt, Thailand. But I've met a number of officials here, and the minister as well. Honorable Tom Butsima, we also discussed opportunities for cooperation in the field of tourism, and of course this issue will be discussed at the higher level in St. Petersburg. But if you maybe enlighten me on the opportunities here, I would also maybe take notice of it and inform Moscow about this. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, it's okay.
I just forgot this.
No problem. First of all, I was saying that you are most welcome to Jinja City. Actually, we feel we are proud that we are hosting you.
Thank you so much.
And I'm sure my mayor is very proud that he's there. Actually, it should be the first. The mayor of Entebbe, first of all, when you land in Uganda, you land in Entebbe. So inevitably, whoever is coming, but now coming to Jinja, choosing to have some time in Jinja, you feel privileged about that. And when we got the information that you wish to meet us, we are so much excited. Of course, we know Russia has a very big economy and a very important economy. And when you read books and whatever you go through, you have seen your relationship with many African countries. That is why many African countries are dying with you. They are siding with whatever Russia, because you have been for us as Russia for a long time. When you read history, you can see your contribution to many African economies, developments, and politics. So we are really very grateful. And of course, when we heard that you are coming, of course we said this is now an opener and a very good opportunity. We have been used to the Western world, but now we said this is a very good opportunity, because it's no doubt that we have known who you are has a very, very big economy, and that has a blow. So the mayor is going to present you something, but I thought I have some officials from the Ministry of Lands. The first point I wanted to hit is tourism, like you said. The mayor was passing on to me the source of the Nile map. That is River Nile. River Nile, the source is here. And hopefully, maybe since he has the whole of today, after a while in the evening, I think we shall have to go and see by yourself the source of the Nile. So when you talk about tourism, Jinja has a lot to offer in tourism. And of course, knowing that tourism now is our highest foreign exchange earner, we are the host of most of the money. We are the host of the people who bring in that money from tourism. So I think you appreciate that. We have a lot for people who want to enjoy their time. Now, your worship, allow me just I'm going to talk about two issues as the mayor is going to present, because we must be sincere. Because we have not been interacting. The other countries, you know which areas they have been cooperating with us. So you will see the presentation. But I thought from what you were presenting that one of the areas that we really wish to have a deeper cooperation and assistance from is power. Russia is a country that is endowed with the technology in this area of power. For us, we have hydroelectric power, of course, which is still insufficient. But you have so many sources. You have nuclear power. Uganda is trying to come up. We are talking about, we have solar power, and there is power now which is being generated from solid waste, and we have a lot of it. So I thought we can try to find a way. How can you assist us? Because Jinja, as you hear, is a very big area, and we have areas that are not served this Umeme power. And Umeme power matches the sources here, but quite often is on and off, and we get these challenges. So I'm seeing one area where we can build deeper, that is power. Then the other area is technical education. I come from Mityana. Mityana is in the central area of Uganda. The first engineer who would repair all radios from all walks of life was trained from Russia. And everybody will say, you take your radio, you take your TV to this man. He's a Russian trained engineer. They would say an engineer, but he was used to repair radios, television sets, and the rest. And that is actually known up to now. So I see that we are moving ahead. We are having so many electric appliances, and this that require that knowledge. If you move in our town, you see actually today I was moving and I saw people are repairing. Do we call repairing radios? I mean radios, vehicles. But I should say the majority, 90%, they are gambling. So how I feel if we have an institution where now even these people who are on the streets are given that the techniques of maintaining. We have these graders of ours. They are grounded. You have to call somebody. So I think this is another area. In technical education, like I've said, many people are going. But Jinja as a city, we should be blessed. And I know that if we can have one, and we have people come, because we don't doubt about your capacity. Your technology is really high. That is why the other friends are always scared about Russian technology, even in computers. So I thought that is another area that would really embrace as a city in a number of areas. Then lastly, you talked about, you asked whether anybody knows Russian language. And actually I should say, I even don't know how to read, because the others, I can say in French, I can read. But in Korea, I remember, I'm forgetting, but with Russia, we don't. And I think since we are now opening up, we need to make a program, because we have been saying that, how do I go to a country and even I don't know how to greet, even how to ask for a drink, just the elementary whatever knowledge. So I think this is an area, like you have said, we can try to find out how, because if we are to exchange, my mayor, the chief executive and team would say this when we are training, as one of the points you talked about. We are going to Russia. You see someone saying, yes, no, I will not be around during that period, just because of the language barrier. We are privileged that as you come, your English is very free, eloquent, and very clear. Now, we want to see as we come to Russia that, of course, I'm sure English is not a national language. but as we come. So I wanted just to highlight those 3 points. Of course, my mayor is going to present, but from what you were presenting, I thought I just wanted to highlight some of those points. And I think we shall have to make another write-up adding in based on what you have presented. Otherwise, you are most welcome once again. Now allow me to invite the mayor, His Worship Kasolo Peter Okocha, to make his remarks. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Ambassador of Russia to Uganda. You're most welcome to Jinja, the heart of Uganda. I want to make some pronouncements before I start my speech or my presentation. One, as the political head, I have the powers to make some declarations. Like one, I've got a feeling of declaring Jinja as one of the cities in Russia. The presentation of the ambassador, as you've heard, we have a lot of opportunities that we can explore with the Russian government through the ambassador, and we change Jinja in just 1-2 years, because we have all the opportunities and we have the potential, but we just need to tap into these opportunities that we have with Russia. Jinja is a very small town with a population of only 350,000 people. That is during night, and around 600 during daytime, because of the trade that is taking place during daytime. Therefore, when you go and look into the list of cities in Russia, Moscow has 13 million people. I think that is true. It has over 13 million people.
It's about 17 to 18 million.
17 to 18 million. It is bigger than the population of Uganda. I mean, something like three quarters.
Your population is about 47.
Yeah, we are 47. I mean, it is around 25%. One city is around 25%, the population, a quarter of the country. So having a population of 13 in one city, it means something very big. But we are only 350 in Jinja. So when you talked of the opportunity of trading with these cities, it is really a very big opportunity for us. Because when you go through those lists, I've seen it is around
Soga region is 5 million.
Soga region is just 5 million. So there are big opportunities that we can explore with Russia through the ambassador. And the other thing that I've heard when you talk, Russia is looking for people to work with. And why don't we become the first people to, offer ourselves to work with Russia and the embassy of Russia to Uganda? Jinja has got a very beautiful history. Like we are talking about the source of the Nile and all those likes. Like I told you, we became a city in 2020, and I became the first mayor. But of course, Jinja has its rich history that we trace from way back in the 1906 up to where we are today. And the coming of the city has also expanded the geographical area of the city. Because previously we were just a municipality of around, this population of around, it was 106,000 people in the old municipality, which covered the areas of Walukuba, which was the former estate for people who used to work in the factories then, this central, and then in Pumonde. But now it has expanded to other areas like Budondo, Mafubira, and the Ugembe. Jinja, we are industrial. Right from the time of inception, Jinja was selected as the industrial area or hub for this country. Although things have changed with time, but Jinja, because of the good electricity that we have, and this river Nile here, we have got those blessings from long way. So our chances of training and developing, they are still abundant. So in the area of economy, like you talked about the big economy of Russia, this is where I would wish Jinja we should pronounce ourselves as a city in Russia, because we need to grow our economy. When you come to Uganda and you talk about investment, Jinja will be the first town. The first option is Jinja, because we have enough space, we have we have electricity, we have the water, we have the security is here. Even the military bases for this country, they are all here. So we are safe enough to host any kind of investment and any type of investors. And that is why in the 1970s, when the late former president Idi Amin expelled the Indians, Jinja was hit most, because most of the Indians and factories were here. So when the expulsion took place, Jinja was left defunct. And we still have defunct factories that were actually for the Indians. So if there are opportunities for collaboration with Russia, I think Jinja would be the best area. And by our location from Entebbe to Kampala, Jinja is the next most beautiful city where you can actually take my investors. So it is good you meet the president oftenly. I would wish to, I don't know, but I would wish to bias you that when you meet the president the next time, you tell him, Russia would wish to concentrate in Jinja, because we have a lot of opportunities. So when we talk of the commerce, like I put in this write-up, commerce is a dominant component of the economy, followed by the service sector, industry, construction, and agriculture. Yeah, you know, we have all the components. When you talk of industrialization, you talk of agriculture, everything is here, the trade and all that. Apparently, even the infrastructure for this country, its base is here. Previously, when we had the railway system, the main station for the railway was in Jinja, because for all the goods that were coming from the other side of Kenya, the East African Railway was based in Jinja, and the station is here. And when we talk of the Usoga line and all those, the base was here. Because of the factories, all goods were being carried from all those other areas, from Kasese, all the mines that actually were being extracted from these other areas were also being brought to Jinja. So Jinja is the center for everything, only that things have died. And now with this balancing of the economy, like you talked about balancing the economy, you see that the government is trying to separate these whatever industrial parks in all areas of the country, which is a good idea, because we need to create wealth and jobs for all people and all Ugandans. And I think that is the reason why government is trying to put these industrial parks in all areas of the country. But Jinja remains the best option because of these other factors for production that are around here. The Jinja City Road infrastructure still. The other day we were attending some conference in Kisumu, Kenya, and most of the countries actually that came for that conference, the reference point was Jinja, given our architectural design and you call it architectural design, the physical plan for Jinja. All these cities in Africa come to Uganda and Jinja in particular to benchmark on this physical plan. And surprisingly, when we became a city with these other the other 9 cities, our physical plan was the first to be approved by the National Physical Planning Board, because it is already in place. And this one happened way back in the 1950s, when the Queen of England came here to commission the Owen Falls Dam. So we got this nice infrastructure we have that actually has now got issues. Our roads are now bad, but we had a good program in the 1950s, which now we are just actually looking around to see how best we can work on these roads. But our road network is very good, but only that we need to work on it so that we can have a better Jinja. So the investment opportunities that we have here, we are looking at the creation of partnership with the cities, of course in Russia, for peer and to peer exchange. So out of all these hundreds of cities in Russia, I would wish the ambassador, I don't know how many you can actually twin us with. Can we have more than one twinning? That we have Moscow, we have Kazan, we have, those cities that we can twin with, that one we welcome it. And I would request I want to direct my technical people to come up with a technical write-up that we can give the ambassador, can share with the ambassador, detailing all these opportunities that we would wish to have with the Russian government. Because when you look at these corporations, we have the multinational corporations, the regional, we can also have these ones actually down to the ground. Because when you're cooperating, I mean, you have to go down, like now the ambassador is here. We are so blessed that this is the second mayor and the second state he's visiting on official visit. So we are blessed. We are looking at also scaling up our solar street lighting. You know, the coming of the city and the meaning of a city, it means good life, resilience, nice mobility, beautification. And now with the coming of the issue of climate change that we are all fighting in the world, it means to me, when you talk of a city, it means a place where you can reach and you feel comfortable. How I wish I could visit Moscow. I know when you go to Moscow, you feel what they call a city. You go to Kazan and all those other cities in Russia and elsewhere in the world. So I have it in my mind. How best can we make Jinja sound that beautiful city with the source of the Nile? Because I believe whoever comes to Uganda would wish to come and visit the source of the Nile. We have a master plan here that we have developed, and we are hoping that government of Uganda, through Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, we are hoping to have a different look of the source of the Nile, where we want to develop a glass bridge at the Nile, so that we can also encourage domestic tourism. You know, in Africa, we are funny people. Our locals don't know about tourism, but tourism is the biggest export for this country. People are coming from outside Uganda to come and see Uganda. But, you know, like I'm talking about a beautiful city. For me, I would wish to go and see how Moscow was built because of the beauty, but not because of these other sites like the local sites that you can see around, because we see them on a daily. People were born at the source of the Nile. We have locals who were born there. They may not have that in their brains that, yeah, someone can travel miles and take a plane to go and see. So we are also looking at that. So when I talk about solar lights, as we are trying now to build a city, which is a young city like Jinja, these are some of the beautification elements we need to look at. So I don't know how best we can partner with Russia to see that we bring about these kind of developments in the city. Solid management. Before I came in, Jinja City was doing a very good work in solid management. And we have the personnel, but the capacity maybe cuts us off. Now with the city, we have a lot of waste, which waste we can turn into something different, and we can create wealth and jobs in this waste as a city. So I believe we have some personnel that can do this, but now the capacity. So in that area, we can also change Jinja, make more money, and develop the city. I think Nabihamba and the planner and the town clerk, you can organize this, and we see how best, which projects can we come up with to see that we can have Jinja developed in that line. Housing. The population is growing because when Jinja, when the former municipality was elevated to state status, you see the difference. It was from 106,000 people. Just by a blink of an eye, we shot to 300 something. So we got a difference of 250,000 people in just one day when the pronouncement was made by Parliament of Uganda that Jinja is now a city. And with the annex of the other areas, the population went high. So in housing and accommodation here, I'm seeing a lot of investment opportunities. I'm seeing a lot of investment opportunity here, that if we could come up with a program of having these housing estates being developed in the city, and then people buy them on what? You call them condominium what? They are called condominium housing. Yes. People buy them in the mortgage kind of arrangement. I think it is a good business. and this can actually attract investors to come here. So how I wish I get Russian investors to come and invest in this kind of venture. And of course, we are hoping to have more institutions coming here. Most of these institutions in Uganda, they are looking at coming to Jinja. We are in negotiations with the Makerere University. They want to establish another university here to decongest the other in Kampala. And of course, when that one comes, we shall see a number of people coming to Jinja who would wish to have good housing and accommodation in Jinja. Tourism, I request Christine to open for me this master plan. Like I've mentioned, Jinja is the center of tourism because of that beautiful site of the source of the Nile. So even government of Uganda has come to realize that we need to develop the source of the Nile to give it that international touch. So that is our plan. I think the BOQs were also captured. Somewhere it can be shown there with the investment we want to make there. So it is one place that can be taken on. Who funded the construction of the new bridge? Was it Japan? Japan. Yes. Yeah. Now, if Japan is in charge of the new bridge, why can't Russia be in charge of the source of the Nile? Yes, the redevelopment of source of the Nile. These are some of the sites we can offer to have Jinja develop. The roads and the other infrastructure developments, of course, these ones can come with bigger investments. If bigger investments happen,
so somewhere here.
The roads will be worked on.
Oh, this one. So it should be here. So it's coming out. It's coming out. Okay.
Then ICT is also another venture. In the current world, you can't run away from modern technologies. People are working on their smartphones, people are working on computer, and now with the levels of technology in Russia, this is something we would request that Russia should give us their technology. Because without technology, we can't change anything. Because even the glass bridge I'm talking about, it will come with technology. Development of education and health infrastructure. The education or the education system we have in Uganda today, which was more promoted, is getting outdated. For a reason, it is not now the books that you have or the degrees you have, the PhDs you have, but what you can do. So when you talked about vocational skilling, my ears opened wide. We need to have people skilled, be involved in the cottage industries. Even the farming that we are doing today should be, we need to train our farmers to get new skills on how best we can earn from agriculture. So the opportunities are so much, but how to exploit them is the question. And now that I have a qualified team of technical people, I think now we know what to do. Because Russia is interested, they're asking on how best we can advise them to come and work with us. And the ambassador is here, who is the president now. Because the entire Russia is here. How best can we open our doors with Moscow and Russia at large? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable. Thank you so much for this presentation. And I can see from it that we really have potential, be it on official, be it on political, be it on economical, investment, regional levels. My job here as an ambassador is to develop bilateral ties in all spheres. And I assume that we do have an opportunity here also in this particular sphere. That is why my intention is to establish interconnections between regions, between regions of my country and regions of Uganda, establish person-to-person connections. I will discuss this with my superiors in Moscow, because it is something we can really do, and it is something that can bring about much positive results to our bilateral cooperation, and especially to trade, investment, and even humanitarian cooperation between our two states. I would be very much grateful if you provide me with some suggestions which we can work upon, and we can discuss in detail at a later stage, and to involve into this cooperation the Russian regions, because I can reaffirm that Russian regions are very much interested in developing ties with Africa. Africa is on the top of the Russian agenda, and it is, I would say, the importance of Africa to Russia is much higher than Europe, for instance, or the countries beyond the ocean, I would say. But we need on our part, we need to propose some specific steps which can expand our bilateral interaction. And I see, for instance, the possibility of establishment of sister city relationship, which can add value to trade and investment and economic interaction between our states, because it all starts at the regional level. I do know that we have on numerous occasions we have involved regions into development of cooperation with states, and it's all brought very much positive results. So I'm very much in favor of this. And please, I would be grateful for your proposals on which we can start moving forward. I will be out for the summit for some time. I will get back in the middle of August, and if you or maybe even you can give me something before the summit, it will be even better. Because I can bring up these proposals to the higher levels.
Has never happened before, and from your communication, we really appreciate that the importance of Russia. When the war started with Ukraine, we felt the pinch here. Petrol, fuel went up, wheat disappeared.
It's not because of us.
And then we asked, what's the problem? Then they said, the war with Ukraine, Russia has a big stake in the world economy. So we are happy that you are here. And from what he has said, it's like he's saying that if Russia you are training people in vocational institutions in Russia, and you're spending a lot of them. If you establish a vocational institution here in Jinja, you will train it pretty more. Maybe the money you spend on 10 would be enough to spend on 100 here, or even more. So, one of our proposals, as you said, you shall write, would be like we need to have a vocational institute here in Jinja, which is built on Russia technical assistance. Then the tourism. We said, Russian people, the climate of having 2 to 3 months of summer is really difficult. I studied in the Netherlands. There it is more days than 3. But I used to hear that in Moscow now it's 35 degrees negative. Moscow now it's 20 degrees, and in Netherlands it was like -5, and it was very cold. In African, that was very cold because I'm used to the 25 here. So then for tourism, we have the potential, we have the seasonal as you've seen, and we have also the Nile itself. Most people from Europe come here to do kayaking on the Nile and they spend time here and all that. But now what we lack is our hotel and the tourism industry is still small. Many people would want to come and do conferences here. Many Asians, the Indians, grew up here and they are now in Europe and wherever. They would want to come and conference here, but don't have conference facilities as big, which can capture big numbers, and that will help us actually grow economically here. Those are the potentials we have. You talked about canning fruits. This Jinja is the capital of a region, and the talking of a region, Kasola region. It has many districts, a population of around 6 million people. So we would say that fruit canning probably could be positioned here. And after the eastern region is a fruit growing area. And you can also nurture them to grow the particular fruit that you're interested in.
What kind of fruits do you grow?
We have mangoes, we have pineapples, we have oranges, we have avocados, we have jackfruits,
passion fruit.
passion fruits.
It's very good because we're interested mostly in the fruits from distant areas because oranges we have ourselves, but as for passion fruits, as for avocados and mangoes, okay, it will be there is a good demand, I would say, in Russia for this.
The potential for growing mangoes here is very high. During when they're in fruit, they just go to waste.